Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Doug Dagnabbit from Modern Warzone and ModernWarzone.com, and in today's video, we're going to be showing you the current meta, or at least in my opinion, the current meta builds for the Automaton and the PPSH 41 in Call of Duty Warzone on the new Caldera map. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about what will and won't be meta, and I will tell you guys that there are other viable options besides these two weapons out there, but these weapons have been what I have done the best with, especially with how many long-range gunfights you're going to be getting in on Caldera that are just outside of the effective damage range of most weapons. This is when the Automaton really shines. So let's just get straight into it, and let's go ahead and take a look at how I have mine built. I will say there are a few things you can change here, but for the muzzle, we're going to be running the F8 stabilizer because it gives you increased accuracy and damage range while only hurting your sprint to fire speed and your hip fire accuracy. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're not running a silencer. Well, yes, I'm not, because I've found after trying both the silencers that even though the Mercury silencer increases your recoil control a little bit, the hit to damage range is not worth it on this map. And the F8 stabilizer actually increases your damage range, and in my opinion, it's been noticeable. Now, I'm not JGod or True Game Data, so I don't have fact-based stats to back this up, but I can just tell you based off feel that I do much better with the F8 stabilizer on any of my long-range builds than any of the other options, besides maybe a recoil booster, but that's more for mid-range. The barrel you're going to be wanting to rock is the Anastasia Sniper. It increases your bullet velocity and range, plus your accuracy, and only hurts your hip fire accuracy. This is very important to have this equipped. I use the Carver forward grip. You can honestly swap this out with the M1941 hand stop if you decide that you don't need as much recoil control as this current build offers you. I also run the 6.5mm Sakura 75 round drum just because this allows me to take out multiple people without having to reload. And honestly, the reload time for it is pretty damn good for how many bullets you get with this. As always, with most long range builds, you're going to want to run lengthened because this gives you the most bullet velocity you can get out of this slot. The polymer grip is, according to JGod and based on my feel, it's definitely the best for recoil control, especially if you're using a weapon like this that hardly has any recoil, but it's going to take a lot of bullets because it increases your recoil during sustained fire. And we're going to stack that with another thing before we finish this. The perk is going to be tight grip, which we'll be stacking with the polymer grip to increase our accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. So the longer you continue to shoot at somebody, the more accurate you're actually going to get. We run fully loaded because this absolutely takes a lot of bullets, and the last thing you want is to drop back in and only have enough bullets to down 3 or 4 people and then just be left with nothing. The stock is the Anastasia padded. I see a lot of people running the Zac skeletal, but I don't really agree with that choice for this because, first of all, it only improves your initial firing recoil, and this gun basically has none. And second of all, it increases your aim walking movement speed and aim walking steadiness. But if you're using the Automaton correctly, you should be in gunfights at distances to where you're not really in a strafe battle. You're just standing in one spot and absolutely beaming kids. An alternate that you can use is the Empress Broadsword. This also helps quite a bit with recoil, but it's not nearly as good as the Anastasia padded in my experience. And then, last but not least, the most important thing to run here is a good optic. And in my opinion, the SVT40 PU Scope 3-6X is the best long-range optic in the game. It doesn't give you any glint, and it only hurts your aim down sight speed, and you honestly will hardly notice it. Now, there are other optics that are definitely worth checking out. One of those would be the 4X flip sight. Let me see if I can find it right here. The M19 4X flip, which actually, according to JGod in his video, has the most recoil control out of them all. Now, personally, I don't like the reticle on it, and I also don't like how much it zooms in. I think the 3-6X is the best because it's very familiar to us as Warzone players, coming from the Axial 3x and the VLK from Modern Warfare weapons. Another thing that you could choose to run is maybe the 2.5X, but I think the 3-6X is better in every way compared to that. The only thing that I've seen people say that they don't like about the 3-6X is that it can be a bit difficult to see the reticle in the middle. It's a bit more difficult. And then this is the last one I would recommend is the MK12 Night Vision, which makes it much easier to spot targets on Caldera with all the foliage and different plants and all the different long distances you're going to be engaging people at. Other than that, those are the sites that I would run on this build personally, and this is my completed build for it. We're going to move on to the PPSH. This is my best build for it, and I've been messing around with it since the game dropped. First of all, you want the muzzle to be the recoil booster. That way that you can increase the time or speed up the time to kill even more than it already is. This gun slaps. It's already been nerfed once, and it still slaps. It's also good at medium to long range as a sniper support. And then I run the second barrel, the Kovalevskia 230mm BO3P. It increases hipfire accuracy, hipfire recoil recovery, and the fire rate. And you only lose recoil control and aim down sight speed, but honestly, I haven't noticed a hit to the recoil control myself. I run the M1941 hand stop. You could run the Carver foregrip if you want even more hipfire accuracy and recoil control, but I mainly use this at very close to medium range. The ammunition can either be hollow point or lengthened depending on how accurate you are. If you find yourself hitting a lot of limbs, put on hollow point. If not, run lengthened. The magazine is the 7.62mm Gorenko 71 round mag, which doesn't change your damage or fire rate at all. It just slows down your reload quickness, aim down sight speed, and movement speed a bit, but definitely worth it. Allows you to take out multiple people without having to reload with this weapon. Next, you're either going to want to run the polymer grip, which is the best for recoil control, or the pine tar grip to give you even more hipfire accuracy while only sacrificing a little bit of aim down sight speed. For the optic, you can either run the slate reflector, or you can choose to run one of the iron sights if you want even more aim down sight speed. If you're going to do that, I recommend the second one. It seems to have a clearer image for me. So the ISO 3P is the one I would recommend there. And right here, this one's really up to preference. I've found that the remove stock, I can still hit all of my shots just fine. I've also found the same with the skeletal stock. Right now I'm rocking the skeletal for the sprint to fire speed boost, and as well as the only downside to it is initial firing recoil. Whereas if you run the remove stock, you're losing accuracy, aim down sight speed, and recoil control. I do know that JGod recommended the Empress Custom, but in my opinion, I'm not really having to deal with bad flinch on this weapon, and I don't need the increased accuracy or recoil control. I'm actually hitting almost all of my shots with this build. The perk is going to be the tight grip perk that we talked about with the Automaton, because you're going to be absolutely holding down the trigger with this weapon, and it only gets more and more accurate the longer you fire with this. For perk 2, you're going to want to run quick, which gives you the sprint speed. So that is my meta loadout. I run quick fix, overkill, and amped because you absolutely need to be able to recover your HP quickly on this map. There's a lot of third partying. I run stims, which if you haven't seen is absolutely crucial for if you want to be able to push people in buildings, or if you get into a gunfight you're about to lose. It increases your movement speed now and allows you to slide farther than I've ever seen any other weapon. But that's basically it. I was going to add some gameplay to this so you guys could see this gun wrecking. I might add a couple of clips after this, but that's it. That's the meta build for me right now. There's multiple other ones I'm going to do videos on, like the Bren, the Bar, the MG42. There's a lot of different very, very good weapons on Caldera that people are starting to discover, but I will say that almost all of them need to be leveled up all the way before they are even decent. So if you enjoyed today's video, liked it, learned something new, be sure to like the video, leave a comment down below about the next video you'd like to see me cover when it comes to meta. I'm trying to get much more consistent about YouTube uploads and getting gameplay for you guys. Everything that I've done so far has been live streamed on our Twitch, twitch.tv/ModernWarzone live. And if you didn't know, our merch is dropping today, and it's absolutely fire. We collabed with Modern Rockstars, which is a clothing brand based out of Arizona. Sizes range from small all the way up to quadruple extra large. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.
Going up right here. Yeah, there's all kinds of death up here.
They're right behind this rock right here. Oh, on me.
Look.
Get absolutely shit on.
More?
One more left here. Nice. Could be selfie. Nice, guys. Turning for resupply.
Hit that guy up.
Found him.
Is there another one, or is that him?
I think there's another.
Right here. On green.
Behind the truck.
Down. Nice.
Another. Two more
I
coming.
don't have enough. Almost.
Poor guys.
Yeah. Had a guy right on top of me, huh?
Well, that should help. And everyone else is over here. We have one team to the left.
Snakies.
Oh, I got a hit over here.
One more lurking, aren't there?
Yeah, I think he's under.
Oh. Bro, what? Started to gas? Nice work. Let's go!
Let's go, baby. 3 in a row. 3 in a row.
Well, 3 in a row?
I pull out the automaton, drop a 15. Let's get it.
Oh.
And by the way, we were on the very edge of the map the whole game.
I know, we dropped right where it ended pretty much.
Dude, we were just rotating that and just destroying everyone. That was crazy. Let's go, baby.
Back to back to back.
And you guys were mad at where I dropped.
What? No. Oh, what? Oh, we just thought you were gone. You came back just in time.
Just in time. Look at that, boys. That's a pretty one.
That's a pretty one.